I originally recorded this video back in September 2021, and when I went to edit the files and get this polished, it didn't work. The files, I had 3 files of this video, and all of them just didn't work. I want to re-record it because I still have these feelings. This video is about the TV series Shadowhunters, and if you haven't realized from the backlog of videos I've done, I'm kind of a fan. There are parts that I definitely hate and refuse to watch because they are so dumb and convoluted, and then there are parts that I absolutely love. And I am going to be talking about a specific scene in a specific episode that I feel would be just miles better if they made one small change. At the original time of recording this, I had not read the first book. The first time I watched Shadowhunters was September, like end of September, I think, 2020. And I had not rewatched it up into 2021. And I still haven't, but I have watched a bunch of YouTube videos directly after I made this video originally. I read the first book. But I am not going to let any of the thoughts that I have on the book interfere with what I'm going to say about the scene, particularly because this scene does not exist in the book. It entirely was made up for the show. The scene I'm talking about is in season 1, episode 4, which is called Raising Hell. For everyone, just so you know, spoilers. So many spoilers, but specifically just for this episode. No, I am going to be spoiling parts of season 1, but I'll try not to go too far into it. Basically, what happens in the scene is they all get to Magnus's house. They're trying to get Clary's memories back. And Magnus is like, I can't. I gave them to a demon for safekeeping. And they're like, well, let's get them back from the demon. And he's like, okay, that's dumb, but sure, why not? Maybe that's just me projecting. They all stand around a pentagram. Just need to say, I hate everything about this. Because I just rewatched it, and it's so dumb. It's ridiculous.
Dark is among us. Do not break the bond. It is time. The demon demands payment. What does it want? We must each relinquish a beloved memory of the one we love the most.
True! The demon deceived me!
Do not break the bond!
Alec, it's okay!
No!
Alec, no!
So, they all gather around the pentagram, and they say so many times, do not break the bond.
Do not break the bond!
Do not break the bond, do not break the bond, do not break the bond. If there is one thing that you know about this stupid thing, it's that regardless of what happens, you are not supposed to break the bond. Keep a hold of each other's hands regardless of what happens. It's a very easy rule to follow. Magnus tells everyone that the demon is like, hey, I need payment for giving you back memories.
Each relinquish a beloved memory of the one we love the most.
It's very vague, which is great. It's not your favorite memory of the person you are in love with. It's not the best memory of the person that you hold in the highest regard. It's not very specific, is what I'm saying, and Isabel goes first, and her memory is of Alec. And we know, because we've been told many, many times, that these two are siblings. I love the sibling chemistry between them. It's great. Anyway, the next person who goes is Clary, and her memory is, of course, her mother. The next person who goes, which, first of all, what kind of order is this? Why are we doing this in this order? Izzy, Clary, Alec. That's not even pentagram shape. That's just random. I don't think this demon knows what he's doing. Alec goes next, and his memory is of Jace. And for some reason, Jace is confused about this. Not only is he confused, he's like surprised. They're parabatai. So y'all share souls. It would kind of be weird if he wasn't the person that he loved the most. Alec immediately starts denying everything and ends up breaking the bond. All hell breaks loose. Literally. First of all, it is established with the very first person and then reinforced with the second person that the memory demon will take any love bond. The first two are platonic bonds. If the first one had been Isabel's memory and her memory was Meliorn, and then the second person was Magnus and it was just some chick or some dude or whatever, we wouldn't know what the relationship is, so we could assume that it was a romantic relationship. And then the next person was Alec and it was Jace, we would have a bit more like, what's going on here? But since it was established already that the first two people were platonic, and not just platonic, one was a brother and one was a mother, the next one, they should have just assumed it's like a brotherly bond. Which it's not, we know that, but they don't. Well, I'm just really annoyed that even though we have a pattern set up of in-family platonic relationships of people who love these people, for some reason, the memory that Alec gives is immediately considered romantic. And that makes absolutely no sense. Zero. Alec is set up as the most responsible, the team leader, a bit of a fuddy-duddy, but he's the oldest and therefore feels like he needs to protect Izzy and Jace. The fact that he is the one to freak out, yes, it's his biggest secret and he can't let anyone find out. Yes, it's a good way to show that he's still young and doesn't always have his shit together. But I feel like in any other situation, show Alec would be more likely to shut down than to act so dramatically, especially when there's a demon involved and people could get hurt. So they play this as a surprise, as a way to be like, hey, here's a mystery. It's not very good as a mystery because we already know that nothing's going to happen because Jace clearly does not have those feelings for Alec. We haven't seen Alec having those feelings for Jace, but apparently he does. Every other interaction with Jace other than when they were trying to track Magnus could be considered just him being overprotective of his family, basically, when this idiot girl just comes in and ruins everything. I'm sorry, I don't like Clary. Regardless of all of that, they set up this thing between Alec and Jace that is supposed to be tension. And I have figured out a way to do it better, in my opinion. Because of course, in my opinion. I think it would be perfect if they kept everything mostly the same. Start with Isabel, and Isabel's memory is of Alec. Sure. The second one, Clary, obviously her mom. If it were literally anyone else ever, it would It would not make any sense at all, and the entire story would just fall apart. Third person, Alec. Instead of having a memory of Jace, they should have a memory of Alec and Max. At this point, we, the audience, haven't met Max, and we and Clary have no idea he even exists. This would be a great way to introduce a new character and add mystery. I believe Alec is supposed to be something like 22 in the series, in the TV show. And I believe Max is, I think he's supposed to be 12, but that kid does not look any older than 8, in my opinion. And at this point, we have no idea who this is. So it's just Alec and this little kid. And so if nothing else, it's like, I didn't know Alec had a kid. And if you did the work with showing that Alec is in love with Jace, it's even more confusing, because if you're trying to set up that he's gay, you're like, okay, he's gay, but why does he have a kid? And then there's confusion, and maybe have someone like Isabel or Jace be the one to break the bond, because they're like, oh no, a demon, a super powerful demon now knows about Max. And I'm not okay with this. And then, have it go from there. But I feel like that would set up more drama. It would set up more suspense and more confusion. And everyone would be confused about it. Not just the people in the group, but also Magnus, maybe. He might be like, well, I am interested in you, but I'm also intrigued. I would make that one small change to make the following scenes better. What would you change? How would you make it better? Do you think it was a perfect scene in and of itself? If so, please explain to me why you think it was perfect and why you think it worked so well, because I do not know. I would love to have a conversation. Do you prefer the book scene or the TV show scene? Which one was better in your opinion? What would you change? How would you change it? Why do you think I'm absolutely wrong about everything that I have just said, as long as it's not something that I already addressed in? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great day.